Welcome to the Inject Creativity Live Show. My name is Rob the Robot from the Adobe Education team. This is a free online show for primary, secondary and post-secondary educators interested in enhancing digital literacy, communication and creativity in the teaching and learning process. Here are your hosts, Dr. Tim Kitchen and Erin Raethke.
Thanks, Rob. Welcome to Inject Creativity Live, a show based on creativity for all education areas with a focus on Adobe tools and resources. Welcome, Erin.
Hi, Tim, and welcome to everyone who's joined us live and those watching on demand via the Adobe for Education YouTube channel or the Australasian Adobe for Education Facebook group for this, the 75th episode of Inject Creativity Live, being recorded in August of 2022.
Does that mean it's our diamond anniversary, Erin? 75.
It is indeed. And I think I've been a part of the show for about 70 of those episodes. So I feel very, very lucky to have been able to share this with you.
Good on you, Erin. It's been terrific to have you too. For those of you who are with us live, we do encourage you to say hi in the chat, share where you are from and add comments throughout the show.
We have the wonderful Tim Cosgrove from Canada in the background monitoring our chat, and he will share the most relevant comments from you as they come in.
Let's start this episode with an acknowledgement of country. We respect and honour all Indigenous people from the lands we reach out to during this event. We acknowledge their stories, traditions and living cultures. We acknowledge them as the first educators and the first creatives, and we commit to building a brighter future together. I'm coming to you from Wurundjeri land in the Kulin Nation, otherwise known as Melbourne, Victoria, Australia.
And I'm coming to you from the country of the Jagera, Yagara and Agorapul people from around the area, otherwise known as Brisbane, Queensland, Australia.
Let's welcome our techie whiz and Adobe Senior Customer Success Manager, Jerry Wong, to the stage. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, everyone. I'm coming to you from the home of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, otherwise known as Sydney, New South Wales. During this episode, we will be hearing from Adobe's Education Leader Emeritus, Salakas.
And Clara Galán is also with us, Adobe's Global Education Community Manager, and she'll be with us live all the way from Barcelona.
We'll be looking at the recent EduTECH Australia conference.
We'll be promoting the APAC Adobe Education Summit in September.
We'll also be sharing a number of Adobe-related education resources and professional learning opportunities for you to take back to your schools, universities, and other places of learning.
We do hope you enjoy this episode.
And if you do, please share it with your colleagues and wider education networks via the Adobe for Education YouTube channel.
You're watching Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raethke.
Well, let's meet our special guests for this episode, and welcome back to the show, Clara Galán from the Global Adobe Education team, and Salakas, Adobe Education Leader Emeritus and Hewlett-Packard's Education Ambassador.
So, Clara, it's great to have you back to the show all the way from Spain for this second recorded episode tonight. So, how long have you been with Adobe? And what has been a highlight of your work with the Global Education team?
Well, it's great to be back for this episode. Thank you, Tim and Erin, so much for having me, and great to see Brett virtually. Hope we can all see each other in person sometime soon. But I've been with the team 5 years with Adobe. Started out focusing more on higher education, then I've moved to primary and secondary, and now manage more of our global communities. And the two highlights I have to say, one was starting the Adobe Creative Educator program in 2020, which we've seen grow to over 30,000 educators since its birth. And another highlight at the beginning of my career at Adobe was being able to visit offices all around the world. And a big highlight of that was going to Sydney for the very first time, Australia for my very first time, and connecting with educators there and in Melbourne as well.
And of course, another highlight would have been getting to work with Dr. Tim Kitchen, but you don't have to mention that because I just did.
That's implied. That's implied.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, Brett, it's great to have you back with us. Tell us, what's involved in being Hewlett-Packard's Education Ambassador?
I think the first implication is need to be extremely handsome witty, quite charming,
Humble.
and very modest. Modesty is a crucial component as well. No. In all seriousness, look, I've got to know all of you for many years now. Clara and I have got to cross paths a lot, and all that time, my passion has been sharing stories, sharing best practice, and talking about the best way that we can teach digitally and connect with our students. And do you know what? I've got the best job in the world as the HP ambassador, Tim. My entire job is to promote good digital pedagogy and look at best practice and work with schools, work with other teachers, and follow a path that has been blazed by yourself, actually, and be able to connect and share and learn with as many people as possible.
I think Clara and I would probably argue to say you've got the third best job in the world, but that's okay. It's great to have you with us, Brett.
And so, Clara, can you share something interesting about yourself that not many people would know?
So I just recently went back to the States for the ISTE conference. So I hadn't been back to New Orleans in a while. Before I'd been there for another conference. So it was really great to see educators in person for the first time since 2020. So that was the first time I had any connections in person with community members for 2 years. So it was a really exciting event, and would love to have the opportunity to connect with more educators in person.
Yes.
Tell me, Brett, what are you going to be sharing with us during this episode?
Look, I just want to tease one of the things, or actually two of the bits that I'm going to share in more depth at the APAC Summit, the Adobe APAC Summit. So actually going to have a little look at Adobe Character Animator. But I'm really having a lot of fun with Adobe Aero. And I've been tinkering and making some lessons with Adobe Aero. So I'm going to share a high school English lesson with you using Adobe Aero.
Sounds good.
So thank you very much, both Clara and Brett. We're looking forward to hearing back from both of you very soon.
Clara here from the Adobe Education team. I lead our global educator community programs, and thank you for watching Inject Creativity Live. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the Adobe Creative Educator program, which you can check out below at adobe.ly/ACE.
Last week, Melbourne hosted EduTECH Australia, one of the largest technology and education conferences in the Southern Hemisphere.
Adobe was a gold sponsor and engaged with hundreds of teachers and education leaders from around Australia and New Zealand. Tim put this video summary together to show you more.
Now, in the last episode, we played the first half of the video. So you're going to have to go back to the last episode, I'm afraid, to watch the first half. We're going to continue the story now in this episode.
Journey about getting our students to engage with industry type of software, and Adobe is very clearly a part of that journey for us. What's really key for us is the additional resources that are provided. So of course the software is fantastic, but I'm able to use Adobe's Learn suite of videos and I can actually step away from the students and allow them to engage in the skill development while I can deal with some other either more high-flying kids or anyone else who's struggling at some other basic concepts. So that's really where we find benefit with the Adobe suites.
It's been great, like heaps of people. I think we're up to about 700 that have stopped by the spin and win wheel.
And this is just day one. That's amazing.
Hopefully I've got enough energy for day two. My voice is fading a little.
Adobe also had the opportunity to do a plenary session titled Enhance Creativity in Any Curriculum Area with Adobe, and then a packed 1 hour breakout session with about 400 teachers titled Get Creative in Any Curriculum Area with Adobe. Special thank you to Adobe Education leaders Michelle Dennis, Stephen Colbert, Mark Wazowski, Andy Hare, Craig Nichols and Adrian Brook for their contributions throughout the conference. And also thank you to the wonderful Adobe team, Lauren Rice, Kim Flowers, Phil Edgecombe, Steve Nichols, Brian Chow, Audrey Yao, Matt Daniels and our partners from Crisp Ideas, John and Zara, for helping to make this conference such a success. Kim Flowers, it has been fantastic to share EduTECH with you. First time we've shared EduTECH together.
Has been, yes.
What's been a highlight for you?
Oh, look, the conversations that I've had with people and connecting with people again face to face has been amazing.
We had a lot of people come past and through. Do you know how many we had scanned into our system?
Yeah, look, we had a really fun activation with the Spin and Win, and we had, roughly about 1,200 people come by, which has been fantastic.
We did 20 demos here in the Adobe booth, just behind this wall here, and our Adobe education leaders, they were great, weren't they?
Oh, look, it was really exciting to hear how they've been using it in the classroom and sharing that passion with their fellow teachers.
Yeah, it's great to have practicing teachers sharing the real work that they do in the classroom. It's been a wonderful event. Any last words from you, Kim?
We look forward to seeing you at the next one.
Next one! Catch you later. Bye-bye.
I recognise your name and
oh,
you're the
good.
big Adobe education guy. And,
did you say
yeah.
Adobe?
Yeah.
Adobe. Who's Adobe?
No, don't say Adobe.
Adobe! Adobe! I know Adobe. I don't know Adobe.
Okay.
Oh dear, some people just need to be told, don't they? Look, let's bring Brett back to the stage. And Brett, he was at the conference. He had a wonderful time, and I briefly got to see you, Brett, only very briefly, but I did get a nice big bear hug from you, which was much appreciated. So tell us about some of your reflections on EduTECH.
Yeah, look, I probably would echo some of the things that Clara said about ISTE. It was just so fantastic to be able to reconnect and see people again. There's one thing to share digitally, and I think one thing that we've all become very proficient at in the past few years is getting online and getting really skilled at presenting digitally, engaging virtually. But I know one of the big things Adobe is about. Adobe speaks in volumes about creativity, and being creative is even more powerful when you connect with another human. Like that's what it all is about, right? You make movement, have impact on another human, and we know that from a relationship point of view, when you do that face to face, when you're able to see people, it just has so much more depth and so much more meaning. So, look, I just think it was magic. Now, you didn't see me, but I actually stalked you. I was peering over that Adobe hedge that you had there, and I actually got to watch you present for a little while. But I did see our good friend Michelle Dennis. I actually watched her a presentation at the Adobe stand, and snuck around just behind then and gave you that big squeezy hug. But look, it was just fantastic to be able to connect, to be able to reconnect with people I hadn't seen in a few years, and to be able to make new connections. But it's all about that relationship. That's why those face-to-face gatherings are just so powerful.
And we have missed them over the last couple of years, so it's been great to be back face-to-face with so many people. Unfortunately, there's a few who have now got COVID from it. That's just the way it is these days. But Brett, thanks. We look forward to hearing from you a little bit later.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of Inject Creativity Live with Tim Kitchen and Erin Raethke.
It is delightful to welcome Clara back to the stage. Clara, Erin's got a question for you.
I do. So, Clara, can you please tell us about some of the recent professional learning opportunities that are now available on the Adobe Education Exchange?
Absolutely. So if you haven't already gone to the Adobe Education Exchange, edx.adobe.com, it's our open educational resource platform with courses and teaching materials and everything that you need to spark creativity in your classroom. The team's been hard at work creating a lot of great content. So a special thank you to Brian Johnsrud, Magda Gross, and Max Schusting. All of that team are constantly putting together incredible resources. And then to our evangelism team, which I'll share a little bit more about here in a minute, that have put together lightning learning courses that are really ready to go and you can access at any time. So, perfect. You have it right pulled up here. So if you go to the professional learning tab on the Adobe Education Exchange, you'll find all of our self-paced courses. The first one you see here is part of our lightning learning series, which are quick, bite-sized courses that you can take and access different pieces. The first one shown here is with my colleague, Wezi Tindwa. You can see all of the other evangelists here and other members of the Adobe team. And again, if you just have half an hour, whether you're, on the bus or just have a quick break, it's a great way to get started. So looking forward to having all of these different profiles of our different evangelism team that all come from education. So they all come from a teaching background, have recently joined our team, and you can access those. And then we also have, if I can go ahead and share my screen really quickly here, is our challenges page. So every month here on the Adobe Education team, we put out a different challenge. So if you go to edx.adobe.com/challenges, we have our featured challenge here up at the top. This is more specific to North America, as it's our back to school challenge. That's a digital portfolio. But every month we'll update this page. And then you can see all of the different challenges that we have launched every month, whether it's designing a creativity graphic, a classroom norms poster, year in review. We have one for the summer. And again, these are all really great because they are remixable templates. So all you need to do is just go to the template, switch out the photo, switch out text. It's a great way to get started with Adobe Express or to really ignite some future ideas for your classroom.
Clara, we are so looking forward to seeing your presentation at our summit. I know it'll be pre-recorded. In fact, we're going to be recording it later on today, which is exciting. And so, Clara, I want to thank you for your time. And we'll be saying, we'll get you to say a few words at the end of the session now. But I believe you've got a little stinger for us to help promote our summit coming up. And here it is.
Clara here from the Adobe Education team. I lead our global education community programs, and I'm excited to see you at the APAC Adobe Education Summit.
Thank you, Clara. And now our Education Summit is happening on Wednesday, the 28th of September, which is a school holiday period for most of you in Australia.
And Tim explains more in this clip.
I'll start playing a bit of the clip. I won't play the entire thing. You can actually go to that website there to see the entire clip, but we'll just play the beginning of it. Hi folks, the 2022 APAC Adobe Education Summit is being held on Wednesday, the 28th of September, which is a school holiday period for most of you. Dr. Tim Paxton, Australia's leading researcher and consultant in the field of creativity and innovation in education, will be our special guest, and you'll also be hearing from the global Adobe Education team, as well as Adobe Education leaders who will be sharing their classroom success stories, creative catalyst talks, as well as providing a range of practical workshops to help you make the most of your access to Adobe tools, especially the free Adobe Creative Cloud Express set of tools and resources. I'm going to need to redo that video to get the branding up to date. We're constantly changing things, but hey, you get the message. Look, before you come to the summit this year, I'm going to encourage those of you who are living in Australia to go to SBS On Demand. That's a television channel for those of you who are out of Australia, and look up the show Finding Creativity.
One of the main stars of this amazing documentary on creativity is our keynote presenter for the summit, Dr. Tim Paxton, who, as our Tim mentioned in this clip we have just seen, is Australia's leading researcher in the area of creativity and innovation.
As educators, it is so important for us to keep learning about the importance of creativity and how we should foster it in all curriculum areas.
So, Finding Creativity is a beautifully produced documentary on creativity and is well worth watching.
Hi everyone. My name's Dr. Tim Paxton, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the APAC Adobe Education Summit.
Adobe has a new set of resources that maps Australian education, it maps the Adobe Education Exchange to the Australian curriculum called School Project and Lesson Ideas with Adobe.
So look up adobe.ly/AC-projects, that's projects with an S, to make the most of this new resource and share it with your colleagues.
Hi, I'm Tacey Trowbridge, head of Adobe's Thought Leadership and Advocacy. Thanks for watching Inject Creativity Live. And if you're excited about creativity, take a listen to the Creative Educator podcast.
Let's welcome Adobe Education Leader Emeritus and Hewlett-Packard's Education Ambassador, Brett Salakas, back to the stage to share with us. Over to you, Brett. I think you're on mute there, Brett.
Yep. It's okay. We all get a turn each episode.
Such a rookie. G'day, everyone. Thanks for having me on tonight, this evening, today, depending on when you're watching. Look, I'm actually going to share a few little tools about Adobe and teaching in the Metaverse. The Metaverse is something that I have been exploring and playing with and trying to find how teachers can really maximize what technologies are there now and really prepare for what's going to come around the corner. So, look, let's dive into it, and I'm going to show you a pretty cool new tool that I'm just been playing with, and I'm going to muck it up a few times before I get it right. And I'm going to say I'm using this tool called Prezi Video to make my presentations a little bit more immersive, so I can have eye contact with my students, so I can have eye contact with the people I'm sharing with. But I'm going to talk about Adobe and teaching at the dawn of the Metaverse. So let's begin with a little quote by a book I love, or a movie I've seen multiple times, Ready Player One. Even though it was initially marketed as a new kind of massive multiplayer online game, the Oasis, which was the Metaverse that was involved in Ready Player One, the Oasis quickly evolved into a new way of life. And those people who have seen Ready Player One or perhaps read Ready Player One with their students will know this concept of the Oasis, this immersive experience, this immersive digital world really became this dystopian kind of controlling feature that everyone in the world was involved in. And in it, the Oasis, you would go to the Oasis and you'd go off to all different worlds and all different things and all different galaxies and different digital experiences. And some were gaming, and some were hanging out with your friends, and some was for romance and all that sort of stuff. We'll have the same sort of thing with the Metaverse that evolves for us. So the Metaverse won't be one particular location. It won't be one thing that happens. We know that a lot of big companies, Facebook, for example, have rebranded their name from Facebook to just being called Meta. There's lots of people trying to stake their claim in the Metaverse, but really, I don't think anyone has an exact definition or exact feeling or an exact idea of what the Metaverse is going to be, because it is still evolving. We have technologies now that are very immersive, and the Metaverse really is this umbrella term for what these immersive experiences will be. So we might in the future actually have our students go off and play and explore in one mathematics metaverse where they might learn algebra, and they might go to a Shakespearean metaverse for some English work and go to different immersive reactions of immersive experiences and use very different types of immersion to it. They might have a lot of AI around them to be able to do a bunch of things. They might have augmented experiences. They might have virtual reality experiences. So these types of technologies are evolving, but what's really interesting is Adobe are being very, very clever and making sure that they've got a firm foothold in this Metaverse experience. Now, I'm going to talk about two Adobe tools today that will be at the dawn of the Metaverse, so we can start playing in this space. But there's actually a really interesting article that Adobe have out called the Metaverse and immersive learning and immersive experiences. So I just Googled a couple of months ago, Adobe Metaverse immersive experiences. There's some really good in-depth research about how Adobe actually feels and thinks the Metaverse will evolve and come to play. But I actually have this quote that I'd like to share with you. So the Metaverse is an all-encompassing space in which all digital experiences sit. The observable digital universe made up of millions of digital galaxies. Now, this is the closest I've been able to come to Thank you, Tim, for putting in the link in the chat to that to that Metaverse link for Adobe that I mentioned. But this explanation is the closest I can get to what that Metaverse feel is going to be. So having all of those galaxies, those immersive experiences all lined up. But let's have a look at what teaching at the dawn of the Metaverse might be. Now, a few months ago, I came on to this Inject Creativity Live and actually shared this Synthesia tool, this deep fake tool where we actually made live together a digital avatar, a person who does not exist, be able to read out a student's work. So I thought this was a great move within using deep fake for good to be able to actually go and create a more inclusive experiences. Imagine you have a student who, for whatever reason, may not be able to access, oral learning components. So they might not have the language, or they might have some sort of impairment that makes it very challenging for them to be able to present to a group, or they might just be anxious children, or whatever it might be. Using a tool like this, a deepfake tool like Synthesia, allows us to be able to put text into a certain place, have the AI engines create a fake person and present that. Now, as I started playing with that, it dawned upon me that many times for a number of years, I have seen our very own Dr. Tim Kitchen use Adobe Character Animator. So I thought I might even have a play in that space. And it's Adobe Character Animator isn't something that I have used a number of times, but I've seen other teachers use it. So as I'm starting to play in this metaverse space, how can we increase the accessibility of our students' performances, take away that challenge that for those who may not be able or want to or be ready to speak and perform in front of a group, and how can we make sure that we're making these learning experiences accessible for all of the students in our care? So I've made this example of good old Thorn. So the templates are really cool. Now, I made this Thorn example in under 10 minutes. So feel free to have a little bit of a scan. You can see Thorn. You might recognize his voice there. Realistically, with the Adobe Character Animator tool, you literally pick an animated character. You record your voice. The AI tool within the Adobe actually tracks your head movements, your mouth, even your eyes. As you look a certain way, the character's eyes look a certain way. As you speak, the character's mouth opens up. Then with the audio track running at the bottom of it, you can just wait to you get to a certain word, and you can use your mouse and actually select different movements of the body of your character. So before you know it, you've actually got a fully animated character within just a few minutes. The student has been able to present their work. You've taken away that anxiety. You've taken away that challenge, and you've been able to make your classroom a little bit more accessible for all the students in your care. Even thinking from an administration point of view, how many times and how long does it take to have students do oral presentations? You can waste several periods waiting for that type of stuff. If you have your students actually create one presentation in one period, you can get all of the oral presentations, and they've had some fun while they're doing it, but you can get all of the oral presentations. You can then go through that at a leisurely pace, and you haven't lost too much actual teaching time. The second tool I want to be able to talk, and this is where I'm going to go a little bit deeper in the Adobe APAC Summit. So I heard Erin and Tim actually spruiking that. So it's coming up in only a matter of a few weeks now, but I'm going to have a deep dive into this tool. So Adobe Aero, it's a tool that's available on our phones right now. But what has got me really excited is not so much the phone version of this, but the desktop version. Now, the desktop version of Adobe Aero is still in beta mode, but the desktop version allows students to actually very easily drop in their own creations. So the The phone version, you can interact with AI, and there's a lot of preset tools that you can come in, and it's a lot of fun. It's very engaging, and you can definitely use that in an educational setting. But the desktop version of this tool allows students to create a range of experiences, maybe actually have learning artifacts, maybe even as a teacher, I've got immersive things that I want the students to be able to use. I can set that up in the Adobe tool and then push out a link or push out a QR code. Now, I have actually had a bit of a play, and Tim, have I lost time?
Oh, no, yep. Give yourself another minute there. I'm just giving you a little warning.
Well, that's good because I'm on my very last slide. So here we have those people who have the Adobe Aero app installed. If you scan this, so the tool itself, Adobe actually pre-generates this nice QR code, so you don't even need to go to a third party. It actually generates this. So if you actually have a look here, I've made a learning experience. I've targeted year 9. I've actually made a lesson here about Lord of the Flies, that novel that many of us have read. We've got multiple learning experiences. You scan this, students can then actually come on live and online and really have that more immersive, that more engaging learning experience. So look, thanks so much. That was my little 15 minutes. By the sound of it, I went for 16 minutes. So sorry, Tim, but I am very passionate about this stuff, and it's very cool.
That's okay, Brett. Could you please pop through a copy of that Aero QR code? Just the very, very bottom of your banner was just covering part of the QR code. So if you could pop that through to me, I'll be able to put it into my summary page for the broadcast and share the link.
We'll share it through the private chat there, Brett, or email Erin, whatever is easier for you. Thanks, Brett. Really appreciate it. Thanks. A nice follow-up from your last session on Inject Creativity Live, and we're looking forward to hearing more at the summit as well. Good on you, Brett. We'll get some final words from you very soon.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya Abbott from the Global Education team here at Adobe for Education. I'm so excited that you are watching Inject Creativity Live. Please check us out with the Adobe Creative Educator program and be on the lookout for all the amazing challenges that we have every month. See you soon.
Thank you, Tanya Avrith. We currently have over 1,700 Australian and New Zealand teachers who have enrolled in at least level 1 of the Adobe Creative Educator program, and close to 56,000 globally who have enrolled.
So if you look up adobe.ly/ACE, you can do the Creativity for All course on the Adobe Education Exchange at any time on demand to get your ACE Level 1 badge.
Hi there, it's Claudio from the Adobe Global EDU team. Thanks for watching Inject Creativity Live. If you haven't already, join the Adobe Creative Educator program.
If you're on Facebook and you're not already a member of the Australasian Adobe Education Community Facebook group, please join. And you can see the link there, facebook.com/groups/AUSAEL.
Join us and keep regularly involved with Adobe in education and the wider community.
We have a monthly newsletter called Adobe in Education Update Australasia.
Complete the contact form via adobe.ly/contact-edu-APAC if you don't already get this publication each month, and join the email list.
I think it's time for a bit of music. Let's hear that magical theme. Let's bring Clara, Brett and Jerry back up to the screen for our farewell. Our next Inject Creativity Live event will be episode 76, and it'll feature the amazing Kev Lavery. That's a funny looking picture of Brett. There he is. Yeah, that
there
looks
he is.
Much better.
Hooray! And episode 77 will feature Adobe Education leader Jason Lane.
Oh, typo there on the screen. That should say 77 instead of 2 lots of 76. But you know what we're talking about. We'll be recording these episodes on Wednesday, the 31st of August at 4 p.m. That's 1 hour, that's Eastern Time, Australian Eastern Time, 1 hour earlier than we usually record due to other commitments that we have that evening. Join us via the Adobe for Education YouTube channel if you're able to.
And for those watching us live, get ready to move to adobe.ly/edu-meet-APAC for our brief fireside chat.
A special thank you to Erin, Jerry, and Tim Cosgrove from Canada for helping to put this show together. And just before Rob signs off, any last words of wisdom from you, Clara?
Thank you so much for having me today, Tim and Erin. It's great to see so many familiar faces in the chat. And thank you for all that you do to inspire creativity in students and fellow educators. And the team looks forward to continuing to support you throughout the year.
Thanks, Clara. And how about you, Brett? Any last words of wisdom?
Look, let's just keep sharing the love, keep sharing resources. And I'm excited that we're all starting to get to go face to face again, and I'll see so many of you at the Adobe APAC Summit real soon.
Terrific. Thanks, guys. All the very best. See you later.
Thank you for watching this episode of Inject Creativity Live. For those who are watching live, join us now via adobe.ly/edu-meet-APAC for an informal, non-recorded fireside chat to meet and interact with our presenters and other audience members. During this informal chat, you will be able to complete the feedback form and apply for a professional development certificate. If you are not watching this live, join us live next time. Use this QR code or link to find out about dates and topics. And use this QR code and link to find out about other Adobe in Education professional learning opportunities. On behalf of the Adobe in Education team, keep being creative.